Hey everyone, it's Peek. Welcome back to the channel today, and welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video. Today, I'm going to be talking all about zoning for objectives. A lot of you have been asking about, like, how do I best set up for Zapdos, for Drednaw, for even Rotom? Like, how do we set up for these objectives? How do we zone the enemy team properly so we're able to take them more securely and stuff like that? And I think this game, while not like the highest kill game or the craziest game, I think this game in particular really showcased that. So I want to walk you guys through it. Obviously, at the beginning of this game, it's just going to be pretty standard. You will see that I am Greninja Jungle this game, which is actually really good now that Cinderace is not, nearly as potent in the jungle. I really do have been enjoying going Surf in the jungle on Greninja. It feels really strong for what Greninja's strengths are. So you see, I missed my bubble there, and this is pretty bad right here. I believe this is the game, right? Yeah. So I was trying to get that auto attack off before I jumped over. But I just missed it because I was already on the movement platform. Ideally, what I was trying to do here, and what I always try and do if I'm jungle Greninja, is I try to evolve while I'm on the platform. You can move a little bit right before you evolve, as any Pokemon that evolves. But yeah, so like as Greninja evolves at level 5, the idea there is that I'm evolving, going through the evolve animation when I can't do anything while I'm on that springboard platform to jump me over. So you see we pick up 2 kills here though. The enemy Cinderace jungle procs my focus band, so that's kind of a problem. So basically I know now that I have to play really safe because I don't have focus band to save me, which makes getting these bees pretty much impossible. So you see I'm not really able to secure that many there. Just trying to help this lane out because they did get kind of killed early. Of course, we hit them with the reverse kill there, and we do secure that little Aldino, thankfully. And I still have the red buff at this point, but basically, as jungler, you want to be sure you're always hitting these timers. And by that, I mean like the timers of the jungle. So really, now that all my jungle is up, I want to make sure I'm taking it immediately because it's so much XP. Like, the jungle has the most XP in the entire game, like even more than Drednaw. So just like, over the course of the whole game, of course. Like, it's super important there. You're always hitting these timers. You're always hitting your jungle camps as soon as you're able. So that's why you see me kind of, just leave that lane pretty quickly there. And I know that my top lane has taken the little Corphish here, so that's basically a full clear of the jungle. So I need to know that in 1 minute, I will have to go back there. So in terms of like zoning and objective play, you'll see it pretty soon. Obviously, Drednaw's in 20 seconds, and this fight in the top lane kind of went bad. I will have my focus band up right now, which you'll see, since it has been 90 seconds since it was last activated. But the rollout Wigglytuff doing some pretty bad damage there. So basically what I'm gonna do is just I believe I just take this farm and then head down to the bottom lane after we secure these bees. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a little bit more farm. I think what I was trying to do is get level 9 so I'd have my Unite move for this Drednaw. But I knew that they weren't on it already, and they had just recently got on it. So now I'm level 9, of course. But I kind of know that my team is outnumbering down there. It's just a 3v3, so I'm pretty much just trying to get some work in up here while we can. Trying to remember what actually happens here. So yeah, as soon as I see our Cramorant get the kill there, I know that like it's going okay. So basically, we're kind of in the clear to push hard up top here, which is going to be really nice for us because obviously, like, again, and I see another kill pop up on the bottom lane, so I know they're doing great. And, we're going to want to rotate down there eventually. But now that we've kind of crashed that goal, I'm level 10. And basically the entire enemy team is level 7. This is going to be huge for me to roam down and come, because I know that they are kind of getting zoned off here. Of course, the Drednaw's still not being taken. But that's just, it's not a type of thing that you want to or even need to a lot of the time take immediately. It's just something to keep in mind. Like, going Drednaw right away is not always the move. If you have teammates there and, you kind of have even numbers and you're able to zone them off, then wait until your entire team can come down there. Of course, you don't always have the luxury of doing that, right? But what you're seeing here is like our Cramorant is kind of positioned, and of course you can't really see because the camera's focused on me, but our Cramorant was positioned along with the Snorlax to basically hold the enemies off on this tier 1 bottom goal. And what they were doing there is just basically distracting them, essentially. Obviously, they were trying to score, which really draws the attention of the enemy team. And, you know, that basically just let us take that Drednaw for free. Obviously, a bit delayed over, you know, maybe some normal Drednaws that you guys have probably seen in your games that just get blown up within the first 30 seconds of it spawning. But this is, I think this is pretty like a high-level game across the board in terms of like people that were in it. I don't recall actually. But I think it's a pretty good showcase of like how you don't always have to immediately go Drednaw. If you can have pressure in 2 spots in the map as opposed to just 1, I think really at the end of the day, once the game meta has developed a lot further, I think that's more what we're going to see. We're going to see splits. We're going to see less like death balling and as a 5-man just going for all the objectives. Because like if you do that, and that's my biggest problem with that whole strategy, is like if you're doing that, you're missing so much XP on the map right now. You see, like, of course we're ahead, we're pushing with Rotom, but like there's no need, my team doesn't need me there. So like what I'm doing now is I'm taking all the XP that's available on the map to even further increase our experience point lead, right? Because our team is already quite far ahead, probably a level and a half, 2 levels up on the enemy team. So I really just want to capitalize on that as much as possible. Obviously, I'm hitting level 13 here as Greninja at 4 minutes left in the game, which is really great. And of course, like I'm always watching the mini map when I'm playing. I see that there's 4 or 5 top, and I just go for the score because that is kind of what makes sense from a macro standpoint here, is that we can be, like I said, taking advantage of 2 places on the map instead of just death balling around the map, getting a bunch of kills, but not really getting much XP or value off of it, you know? So we do unfortunately lose our Machamp here because, you know, Heavy Slam exists in the game. And so we're at a disadvantage here. And here's going to be my focus man, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to grab the berries and instantly be back to full health. I actually can't remember what happened in this fight, but I do remember it being a little bit rough. So yeah, this is a great Unite move for me. Obviously, we really want to be able to take this Drednaw because it's going to be the last Drednaw before the Zapdos spawns. And thanks to the nice Cramorant ult, again, perfect example of zoning. I think Cramorant is a great champion to kind of learn how to zone with. The Cramorant ult there, positioned in the bush, so he's hidden and not being able to be seen, essentially like makes the entire enemy team run away. And as they're running away, they're clumping together and getting hit by the Ricochet Aracudas that Cramorant ult, you know, uses when, sorry, by ult I mean Unite move, of course. So yeah, basically now there's so much XP on the map. We want to make sure we're taking this. Because we're really just setting up to prepare for the Zapdos skirmishes, because there's probably going to be a lot of fights, and we know that because we're really far ahead, right? So we don't really want to take Zapdos in this situation. We really just want to set up in a way that allows us to defend against the enemy taking Zapdos. And a great way to do that is obviously have this Rotom pushing in the last 20 seconds. You'll see the Venusaur is going to be able to score this 40 in the bot lane, but that's okay. It gives us eyes on Venusaur, lets us know that he's alone here, and, you know, just gives us better idea of what's going on. And obviously, like, because we saw that the Venusaur is down there, our Machamp and me are just able to, like, Machamp just runs up, uses submission, and that thing's gone, right? So I'm going to start this, just tag it really quick, just to kind of maybe scare the enemy team. It's honestly a good strategy to do because a lot of people are constantly looking at the Zapdos pit to see if, like, anything is happening, right? If you hit it a few times, sometimes, like, that is enough to make the enemy kind of freak out and make poor decisions. And that is kind of seeming what happened here. So, of course, I was going to recall here, but my focus band went off, so I'm like, oh, I definitely have enough health for this. So we've effectively held them off here in this choke point. We've zoned them off this objective for now. But of course, since the death timers in Pokemon Unite are so low, it's kind of a problem. So we do start the Zapdos with a few of them up, but we kind of get off it because we know that they're all basically on respawn right now. A huge wall from our Snorlax here in the choke point allows us to completely get rid of that Cinderace and zone the rest of the team right now. Thankfully, I get Buddy barriered here, so I just have a little bit extra health, and I have to basically play really aggressive as Surf Greninja and just holding this choke point because I know we're about to wipe them. One just came off respawn. That's what I know, right? So we do just reset here, which is very smart from our team, because it's obviously just the Cinderace up right now, and Machamp is, you know, full health, is able to just kind of maintain vision in the Zapdos pit. This is how you want to play zoning at the end of the game. If you're this far ahead, of course, like I said, we have all of our goals still up. We're very far ahead. We want to make sure we don't let any easy goals in from the enemy team, because obviously both of our tier 1 goals are very accessible to them. They can back cap at any point of the game. But now that we've, now that we won the first fight, they lose a ton of points out of their Unite Ball or their inventory, right? So they are not going to have a lot of points to score. So we effectively hold them off from the Zapdos, right? So basically just by holding that choke very aggressively, by holding the choke point, sorry, by choke, I mean like choke point as in that little tunnel to the right of Zapdos. As they're coming in, we just make sure we're using all our abilities, all our Unite moves in that concentrated area wherever the team is coming in, to make sure that we hold them off from even getting close to the Zapdos. Because like I said, obviously 378 86, we didn't even remotely need the Zapdos. So the whole name of the game there is zoning them off with your abilities, making sure you're just using everything as soon as you see a group of enemies, like using everything you can to hold them off. Because at that point you have the better position, right? They have to come through this, they have to come through the shortest path, which is that choke point in the on the right side of the Zapdos pit, while we have the entire Zapdos pit to kind of spread out, have vision, see what's happening across different portions of the map. So really, like, that's kind of the name of the game in terms of defense. You don't always have to take Zapdos to win the game, and especially if you're ahead like we were, you just play off of that strong level advantage that you have. Make sure you're just throwing, like I said, throw everything you have into those choke points as the enemy team's coming in to basically just shut them down. Now, of course, like, if they would have had an Eldegoss ult and like maybe a Snorlax ult, that would have made them a lot harder to take out there. But the thing about just really making sure we're pushing hard and throwing all our Unite moves in at the start is that some of our Unite moves are actually coming back off respawn in that moment too, right? So we're actually, my camera messed up a little bit, sorry about that. We're actually, getting the full value out of our Unite moves, and then sometimes we're actually able to get them back on, back before the enemy team's able to get there. So it's all about kind of rolling with the momentum in terms of zoning them off objectives like that, and just like taking defensive positions. I think that's about it for today's video. Like, basically, go back and watch the Zapdos fight again. Go back and watch that last Drednaw fight again, because I think it really shows well how you just kind of have to position as a team. Not everyone can be over there on the right side towards the enemy team. Some people have to be focusing the objective, focusing the Drednaw or the Zapdos, whatever it may be, right? But a couple, maybe 2, 3 of your teammates can just maintain vision on the right side of that objective and make sure, especially if you have a Snorlax, that's a great Pokemon. The Machamp was a great Pokemon for that. Cramorant, great Pokemon for that. So our team comp just kind of worked, right, for that in order to maintain the vision, hold off the enemy team just by zoning them with their different abilities. So really good play for my team. Happy how that game went. So yeah, hopefully it was enjoyable for you, and hopefully that kind of makes sense from a macro play standpoint, how to kind of handle zoning. And of course, like, I think it was really interesting to showcase in this game that, the 5-man death ball of Drednaw is not always the move. Like, spreading out, making sure you get the XP across the map. That's the whole reason why I was able to do so much damage, especially at the end of the game, is because I was so leveled just by not letting any of our jungle camps go off respawn for too long. And just like, the name of this game is really, like, I think at the end of the day, once the meta, like I said, has developed more of Pokemon Unite, I think it's really going to be about experience point optimization and just making sure you're always hitting those timers. Like, this game is very simple to play if you just play for the timers, play for the respawns of all the Pokemon that are around the map. So anyway, that is a lot of information, so hopefully I didn't bore you guys, but thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you like Pokemon Unite, definitely drop a subscription on the channel. I have a new Pokemon Unite video every single day here on the channel. If you ever lose interest in the game or lose interest in me, you can totally unsubscribe as well. But, I think you'll find my channel a great resource for just learning the game from a competitive standpoint and stuff like that. Also, just guides, news, everything Pokemon Unite, kind of your one-stop shop, So follow me on Twitter. That's probably the best way to get updates on the game news, news from me as well. So yeah, love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.